China is a global superpower with an enormous economy, advanced military and cutting-edge technology. Meanwhile, India is growing rapidly but still isn't at the same level. Why is China ahead? What key factors make it a superpower while India is still catching up? And most importantly, can India close the gap? Let's break it down with facts, numbers and projections. Economy, the power of money. The most important factor in a nation's superpower status is its economy. As of 2025, China's economy is worth a staggering $18.5 trillion, making it the second largest in the world after the US. In contrast, India's economy is around $4 trillion, ranking fifth globally. China's GDP per capita is approximately $13,000, while India's is only around $2,800. This means an average Chinese citizen earns almost 5 times more than an average Indian. China dominates global trade. It is the largest exporter in the world, with annual exports of over $3.6 trillion in 2025, while India's exports stand at around $800 billion, growing but still far behind. Manufacturing, China's biggest advantage. One of the biggest reasons China is a superpower is its manufacturing dominance. China accounts for nearly 30% of global manufacturing output, making it the world's factory. India, in comparison, contributes just around 3% to global manufacturing. China produces over 30% of the world's electronics, including smartphones, semiconductors, and consumer gadgets. It manufactures over 28 million vehicles annually, making it the world's largest auto producer. It is also the top manufacturer of steel, solar panels, batteries, electric vehicles, and machinery. A key factor in China's success is its strong supply chain ecosystem. The country has well-developed industrial clusters, where entire production ecosystems exist in one region. For example, Shenzhen is the global hub for electronics, while cities like Guangzhou and Tianjin dominate automobile manufacturing. China has over 2.9 million industrial robots working in its factories, increasing productivity and reducing labor costs. In comparison, India has around 35,000 industrial robots, far behind in automation. In contrast, India's manufacturing sector contributes around 17% to its GDP, but the government is working to increase this to 25% by 2030 through initiatives like Make in India and PLI, production-linked incentive schemes. The country is investing heavily in semiconductor plants, EV production, and defense manufacturing, but it will take years to match China's scale. China's biggest advantage is its logistics and supply chain efficiency. Its ports, highways, and high-speed rail networks ensure fast and low-cost transportation of goods. India, while improving, still struggles with high logistics costs, which are nearly 14% of GDP compared to 8% in China. China also dominates raw material processing, especially rare earth elements, which are crucial for electronics, batteries, and military equipment. China controls over 60% of global rare earth processing, while India is still developing its capabilities in this sector. Although India has made progress, it needs to rapidly scale up industrial automation, invest in logistics infrastructure, and create global supply chains to compete with China in manufacturing. Military strength, the power of defense. A true superpower must have a strong military, and China has one of the most powerful armed forces in the world. In 2025, China's defense budget stands at a massive $230 billion, while India's military budget is around $90 billion, less than half. China has over 2 million active soldiers, 5,000 plus fighter jets, and a growing navy with 3 aircraft carriers. India, in comparison, has 1.45 million active troops, around 2,500 fighter jets, and 2 aircraft carriers, but relies heavily on imports for advanced weapons. China is leading in hypersonic missiles, AI-driven military systems, and drone warfare, while India is still modernizing its defense capabilities. China also has a global military presence, with bases in Djibouti and growing influence in the South China Sea. India, while strong in its region, does not have the same level of global reach. Infrastructure and urbanization. Infrastructure is the backbone of any superpower. China has spent over $8 trillion on infrastructure development in the past 2 decades, building the world's largest high-speed rail network, highways, and smart cities. In 2025, China has over 45,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, allowing for rapid connectivity across the country. India, meanwhile, is building its first bullet train between Mumbai and Ahmedabad, but its overall railway modernization is still in progress. China's urbanization rate is 66%, meaning 2/3 of its people live in cities, driving industrial and economic growth. In India, urbanization is at 38%, which means a large part of the population is still in rural areas with lower economic productivity. India has made significant improvements with new expressways, metro networks, and digital infrastructure, but China's long-term planning has put it far ahead. Technology and innovation. China is investing heavily in emerging technologies like AI, robotics, 6G, semiconductors, and electric vehicles. In 2025, China's R&D spending is over 2.5% of its GDP, amounting to nearly $450 billion annually. India, on the other hand, spends only 0.9% of its GDP on R&D, around $40 billion, far less than China. China is home to tech giants like Huawei, Alibaba, Tencent, and BYD, which are leading in global innovation. India, while strong in IT and software, still lags in high-end tech manufacturing. China is also a leader in the electric vehicle (EV) industry, producing over 50% of the world's EVs, while India is still scaling up production with companies like Tata and Ola Electric. India's strengths lie in space research and software development. In 2025, India successfully launched Gaganyaan, its first manned space mission, and continues to be a major player in satellite technology. However, China's space program is even bigger, with a permanent space station and ambitious Mars missions. Can India become a superpower? India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, with a young population, a booming digital economy, and rapid industrialization. By 2040 or earlier, India has the potential to become a global superpower if it invests in infrastructure, manufacturing, innovation, and global diplomacy. While China currently has the advantage, India is on the right path. The coming decades will determine whether India can match or surpass China in economic and geopolitical power. What do you think? Will India become a superpower in the next 15 years? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content.